Hello and welcome back to Paul Plays TIS-100, where for this episode we're going to be looking at this puzzle here, Exposure Mask Viewer. So, what do we have to do? We have to take this, it's another one of these image ones, so we've got to draw these rectangles on the image, but the specification for the rectangles comes from this input stream here. So read an X value from in, read a Y value, which is like the top and the top left position in this 0, 0 coordinate space. Read a width value, read a height value, and then draw that rectangle on the screen. So just what I'm proposing to do is, obviously we're going to draw these rectangles line by line. So we're going to need a width and a height. We're going to need, what I'm going to need for each run of this is an X and a Y position of where to start, and then a string of, then the width of 3's, which are the symbol for white, followed by -1, and then below, below, below. So we're going to need to generate that somehow out of this. So let's just start moving a few. Move up, right, and move left, down. I want to use this box here as kind of a hub. This is going to be the central sort of brains of the operation. And then I want to use all these ones around it as well to do other bits and pieces. So what I'd like this one to do is a very simple job. If it's given a number from above, write that number of 3's out, followed by a -1. So that shouldn't be too hard. So move up to the accumulator, loop, jump equal to 0 to the end. There's the end label there. So move 3 left, subtract 1, and jump to L. So it's a simple loop. It comes in here, it takes a value in, so say the value is 5, it moves 3 left, it then subtracts once it's got 4, jumps back to here, checks is at 0, so it keeps doing that until it gets to 0. So after it's moved 4 of them left, it'll eventually subtract 1, it'll have been a 1, it'll now get to it, it'll now jump back to here, it'll say jump on equal to 0 to the end, which we'll get to here, then I'll move a -1 to left to signify the end of the stream. And that should work nicely. So then the only thing I'd like to do here is put some code in to handle that. So move left to the accumulator, move the accumulator down and jump greater than 0. It's always going to be a 3 or a -1, so jump greater than 0 to loop. So basically it gets them out, and it should send the -1 down as well. So any value that gets it, it sends it down. But if it's greater than 0, it goes back and finds another one. So it keeps spinning in this loop, moving everything it finds down until it finds something which isn't greater than 0. That gets moved down too, and it finishes. So I don't need a colon there. So the next thing I'd like to do is I'd like this box here also to remember the width. To remember what it's in effect doing. It's getting a width value from here, generating that number of 3's followed by a -1. But if it was to get a 0, for example, I'd like it to try and remember the last one, so that I don't have to remember this width in other places. So what I'm going to do is I am going to, it gets a value in, jump JGZ, jump greater than 0 to the start. And the start of the loop here will save its value. So once I've been in here once, so the norm, so this shouldn't, and I put a swap here. So the very first time it comes in, and it should always get a value, otherwise it's going to use whatever happens to be in the backups or whatever. So let's say I come in here, I send it a width of 4. Jump greater than 0, which 4 is greater than 0, so it goes to this line of code, it saves it, and then spins around in this loop here, back to the L, until finally it gets to the end when it comes back to here. And again, if it gets, so the only other interesting thing is if it gets 0 in, it comes here, jump greater than 0 to ST. No, it's not greater than 0, so in that case, swap. So basically, if I send it a 0, that'll be shorthand for use the last value that you had. Right, so what I'd like to do then is this needs, to do this, it needs an X. So let me just describe where we're at. So this will handle the width. So this will handle how many white squares to produce. So what I need here is I need a X and a Y. So the X value is going to be the same for each one of, so the invariants are, like for when I'm drawing a rectangle, I'm going to draw that row, that row, that row, that row. On those, every row on this rectangle obviously has the same X position and has the same width. So let's say this box here, the first thing it does is it gets the X in. So move X, not move X, move up, left. So move right to the accumulator and save it. Okay. So I would like to, so for each row on this rectangle, I need to generate that X value for this guy down here. So if I then get the Y in, then move up, that's going to be the width, move up, and that's going to be the height. So when we have the height, so I need to handle those moves first. Move up to the accumulator. Move accumulator left. Move left to the accumulator. So height is going to be, I mean, so if that's 3 tall, I'm going to get 3. So basically I need to count down from 3 to 0 here. And each time what I want to do is I want to swap to get back the actual X value which was here. Move accumulator down. Swap. Subtract 1. And jump greater than 0 to the loop. Otherwise I'll fall back. So in theory, let's just walk through that quickly. I get in a number here, an X value, say it's an X value of 15. I save it. I then get a value, say it's 3 rows down, which is in the accumulator. Now I swap them. So I send the 15 down. I swap them again to get the 3 back. I subtract 1. So if I got 1, I subtract 1. I would get 0 straight away and jump back. So that looks good to me. So that should send down here for every row in this rectangle, its X value. So move up to the right. And its X value should be move left down. So here is the width. We know the width. The only people who are interested, or the only boxes that are interested in the width is right. Move left down. So we're left with this Y value, which is going to come from this box here. So move up, down. So this is the Y value, so the second value get repassed in. So move up to the accumulator, and because I'm overwriting it here, I'm going to save it. So this is a loop, and at this stage of the loop, I have in the accumulator is going to be the height. So the height is currently in the accumulator when we get to the start of this loop, based on the fact that it was the last one we got to. So what am I going to do here? What do I actually need to do? I actually need to send down. Yes, see, I just want to check I did, because the height also went to here, but I moved it into the accumulator and I kept it here. So basically I need to send down the Y value, which is in the backup at the moment because I saved it up there, that height number of times. So how do we do this? We need to swap. So now I have the Y value. I need to move the accumulator down. So send the Y value to here. I then need to add 1 to it. I then need to swap again. Now two of them have been switched around in place, and now I should have the height, not the Y, in which case I'm going to subtract 1 from. And jump on greater than 0. Back to L. But the only other thing I need to do in this is I need to generate another another row of these 3s to go in there. So I just want to be careful here that when I'm thinking about this, I don't send down an extra one. See, here, see, I've already sent a value to the right here. So each time I get in here, yeah, I think I would. If I just put it in here, I believe I would generate an extra one I don't need. So I subtract 1. So jump on equal to 0. Back to the start. Like that. And the final thing I think I need to do is that I remember I don't need to remember this width. This thing here should have remembered the width, so I just need to move 0 right. Okay. So what have I done? First of all, let's check for something really silly. We'll just run it again. Okay, it's still, this main one here is still stuck on move left down. Ah, very silly. I've got move left there. Oh, I'm an idiot. Sorry. Move right to the accumulator. And we still appear to be stuck. So where are we actually? Stuck. Okay, again, not knowing my rights from left here, that should definitely be moved right to the accumulator, shouldn't it? And a little bit of progress. Managed to produce a single line here. Okay. On this bit here that I thought I was being clever on, I completely messed up. So, jump on equal to 0 to the start, move 0 to the right, but I'm just jumping back to the start at the end there, don't I? So jump to L. Okay, and we're starting to draw a rectangle. Fabulous. Yeah, it's quite a challenging debug environment because I presume I find it quite difficult to actually understand what's blocked. I mean, you're looking at everyone is stuck on a line, and it's a matter of just trying to figure out which line. Oh, it's not that bad. Stop moaning, Paul. What are you doing? It's a brilliant game. Yeah, I'm enjoying this. This is quite clever. It appeals to the inner nerd in me. What can I say? Right, so I mean that's running. It wouldn't work if it ever gave me. I just realised here. No. Would it? Do I handle zeros properly? I thought it wouldn't work if I got an x of 0, but no, it probably would. It would, wouldn't it? Yes, it probably still would. Right, being overly critical. Yeah, it's fun. It's drawing it. 10's not great cycle score, but not bad instruction count. So we can live with that. But nothing particularly new or exciting, just quite challenging. I mean, it's the first one I've really had to get my head around, you know, multiple boxes all kind of doing different things and all coming together. So yeah, a fun puzzle. Quite enjoyed that. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you liked it, please do drop a like on it. If you're interested in these sort of games and what I'm doing and don't absolutely detest the sound of my voice, please consider subscribing to the channel. Thanks a million to those people who have done that and who have left comments on this and the Infinity Finifactory videos. Your support and feedback is all most welcome, and it's great to know that some people out there do indeed like this. So, a like if you like it. Please do consider subscribing to the channel. If you have any comments on this, I'd love to read them. Thanks again for watching. Bye now.